The ancient stone statue of Jesus had stood in the village square for 100 years, witnessing centuries of silent prayers. But on this particular morning, glistening from a night of gentle rain, it bore witness to a plea of a most extraordinary kind. Curled at its mossy base was a small shivering creature, a puppy so young its eyes still held the softness of infancy, yet were clouded with a fear far beyond its weeks. Its pale fur was matted with mud and cold to the touch. With a strength born of pure desperation, the tiny animal pushed itself onto its wobbly hind legs, pressing its fragile front paws together against its chest in a perfect mimicry of prayer. Its entire body trembled from the effort and the cold, each visible rib a testament to its hunger. Tears, real and glistening, traced clean lines through the dirt on its face as it gazed upward at the solemn stone figure, its whimpers not for food but for a miracle, a silent, desperate prayer sent into the still, morning air. Those faint whimpers did not go entirely unheard. They found their way to Rosa, a woman for whom silence had become a constant, heavy companion. Her footsteps, slow and measured, echoed on the wet cobblestones as she made her way to the market, another empty day stretching before her. Since her husband had passed, her world had shrunk to the four walls of her quiet house at the edge of town. The days blended into one another, a grey tapestry of loneliness where her only conversations were with memories. She moved through life like a ghost, unseen and unheard, the warmth of companionship a distant dream. Her heart, once full of love and music, now felt like a hollow chamber, echoing with the absence of what once was. As she neared the square, the unusual sight made her stop dead in her tracks. Her weary eyes, accustomed to overlooking the world, now focused intently on the small praying creature. A deep forgotten ache stirred within her. "Little one," she whispered, her voice raspy from disuse, "what are you doing all alone out here?" At the sound of her voice, the puppy turned. Its watery eyes locked with hers, and in that profound moment, a silent understanding passed between them. This was no chance encounter. With a desperate, pleading cry, the puppy stumbled down onto all fours, took a few shaky steps away from the statue, then stopped and looked back at her. It wasn't running away, it was asking her to follow. An instinct, ancient and maternal, overpowered her solitude. Without a second thought, Rosa abandoned her path to the market. The empty basket fell from her hand, forgotten. Her purpose now was to follow. She followed the small guide through narrow, winding lanes she hadn't walked in years, across a patch of land where the grass grew wild and untamed. The puppy moved with a determined urgency, pausing every few feet to ensure she was still there. Finally, it ducked under a broken fence near a dilapidated shed that leaned wearily against an old oak tree. There, half hidden in the damp and gloomy shadows, was the source of the puppy's prayer. A mother dog, emaciated and weak, lay on a bed of soggy leaves. A deep, angry wound marred her leg, still seeping slowly, staining the ground beneath her. Her breathing was shallow, each breath a visible struggle. Yet, upon seeing her puppy, a flicker of relief softened her pained eyes. The puppy rushed to her side, nuzzling against her matted fur. Rosa's heart shattered and swelled all at once. She understood everything. "Oh, you poor dears," Rosa breathed out, her voice thick with emotion. She didn't hesitate. Kneeling in the mud, she reached out with gentle, trembling hands. The mother dog was too weak to offer resistance, only emitting a soft whine. Rosa carefully gathered the fragile, feverish body into her arms, shocked by how little it weighed. The puppy circled her feet, its whimpering now a mix of anxiety and hope. Rosa moved with a speed she didn't know she still possessed, carrying the precious burden back through the village, the puppy a faithful shadow at her heels. The veterinary clinic was a blur of white coats and bright lights. Her voice, once so quiet, now shook with passionate pleading as she begged the veterinarian to help. As the door to the operating room closed, she sank into a chair, the puppy immediately curling into her lap. They waited together, a new family bound by fear and hope. Time stretched into an eternity until the veterinarian emerged, removing his mask to reveal a tired but gentle smile. "She's a fighter," he said. "She will live." The words washed over Rosa like a warm wave, and tears of relief she could no longer hold back streamed down her face. She bent down, and the puppy covered her cheeks in joyful, grateful licks. In the weeks that followed, Rosa's quiet house was quiet no more. It was filled with the soft patting of paws, the cheerful jingle of tags, and the contented sighs of sleeping dogs. The mother dog, whom she named Grace, healed slowly but surely, her eyes forever holding a look of deep gratitude. The puppy, now named Hope, was a whirlwind of playful energy, bringing laughter back into rooms that had known only silence. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and gold, Rosa sat on her porch swing. Grace lay curled contentedly at her feet, while Hope slept soundly in her lap, a picture of perfect trust. Rosa stroked the puppy's soft fur, feeling the steady, peaceful rhythm of its breathing. She looked out at the beautiful sky, then down at the two souls who had crashed into her life and mended her broken parts. A profound peace settled over her. The empty days were gone, replaced by a life of meaning and unconditional love. She hadn't just given them a home. They had given her a reason to live again. "You saved me too," she whispered into the twilight, finally understanding her purpose. It was to love and to be loved in return.